Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Klom. I'm a host of the Comedy on Vinyl podcast for all of 2017. I'm listening to a comedy album a day to get through my collection. If you're watching this on Instagram, the full video is on youtube.com/comedy on vinyl because I tend to ramble. I decided today to pick an album that I actually assumed I'd heard most of. Luckily, I hadn't. It is 1953's Songs by Tom Lehrer. This is Tom Lehrer's debut album. This is, to the best of my knowledge, from the original release. It's so fantastic on the back. It even says that copies of this record are available at most record stores or at $3.98 each, plus 20 cents for mailing, from Tom Lehrer, Box 121, Cambridge 38, Massachusetts. And that's fantastic. Everybody has said everything it's possible to say about Tom Lehrer. There's nothing else for me to say, so I'm going to anyway. The songs that I do know on here, it was a delight to listen to. The songs I hadn't heard before are just peppy and quick and delightful and funny and subversive. There is this, I love that you have descriptions on the back of every single song, okay, to kind of prepare you for what you're about to listen to if you're into that kind of thing. I am. The attitude with which they're written, which you can be fairly certain they were actually written by Tom Lehrer himself, they're so very, I'm trying to come up with the right word for them. But there's a biting satire in each of them while also defining what you're about to listen to. I mean, here, I'll give you an idea. There's a song called I Want to Go Back to Dixie. This is 1953, remember. That song either came out in 52 or 53. All these songs were from 52 and 53 and compiled in this album. He describes it, here we have a typical Dixie song, all about the many delightful features of the South. That's all it says. If you know his style, you can assume where this might go. It's a little bit judgmental of the nostalgia for things that don't exactly have a lot to back that nostalgia up. A lot of perspective in these songs and in the descriptions of the songs as well. It's just so. There's so much common sense in what you're reading here. Which is he as any good satirist. The point of view on the back of this and the point of view on the music is that of, it's clearly this way. Why don't you see it this way? And if you already do see it this way, please enjoy this song that is equally judgmental of all the idiots out there. It's very just, please be smart. That is what the best satire in the world is, just asking you to please be smart about things. And this is so, I don't know, it's very ahead of its time in terms of the approach to this kind of satire. Especially since he's using styles that everybody's very familiar with, and the expectation is that it's just going to be cute. Each of them starts out as cute and has a turn, and that's what good comedy is. But at the time, that's what put him in the category of sick comics. Although I don't know that people considered him a comic. I think he might have been able to get away with more because he was a musician. He did comedy music, but at the same time, he's a musician first, right? He's not a stand-up. He's not there to just stand there and offend you, because that's the assumption people had about guys like Lenny Bruce, who didn't like the term sick comics, understandably, because it's very generalizing. It's like alt comedy or alternative music in the 90s. It means almost nothing. It's just a way for journalists to have a shorthand. And Tom Lehrer would definitely fall into that same kind of group in terms of the things he literally has a song called I Hold Your Hand in Mine that gets as literal as possible, and it turns out the man's a murderer. I won't give up, the reveals of all these songs, but that's the kind of thing you're getting here. That's typical of Tom Lehrer, but that's also what you really, really want. This album is incredible. I'm going to say delightful again. It's delightful. There's a fake biography on the back of Tom Lehrer, it was just so much fun to listen to, and also with these albums, as old as this one is, it's only 25 minutes long. It's quick. You get through it very quick. I had wondered why it felt fast because it's him, but it also seemed ridiculously fast. And I was right. Yeah, it was a 25-minute album. I think we'll probably end up burning through all of his albums because I have all but maybe one of them sitting there. I'm staring at them. I love the album art. I really do. It's really great. It's a full experience. There's album art, really great stuff on the back, and a very quick album. That is what you want from good comedy. That's it. I know this is a fast one, but there's, again, people have said all there is to say about Tom Lehrer. All I can tell you is how I experienced it, and I do think it's still a delight, and most of it still holds up. that is it. Subscribe to Comedy on Vinyl on iTunes. Rate us highly if you would. You can subscribe elsewhere too. We're on all the other apps that you can find podcasts at. Stolendress.com is the website of our of my podcast network, where you can find my other shows. Follow us on Twitter at Comedy on Vinyl. And if you share this, hashtag it Comedy Album a Day, because I want people to know about what I'm doing. And then maybe eventually I can clear out some of the dead weight. This will not be the dead weight. This is staying in the collection. But thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a good thing.